This is Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you for joining us. And it is Monday, and it's time for another edition of Awesome Tech You Can't Buy Yet, where our own Drew Prindle scours the internet to find some of the best and most interesting crowdfunding campaigns out there. That's what we're talking about right now. Drew, hello. Thanks for being here once again. Which one of these do you want to start off with here first?
Let's start off with this AI bird feeder because it's such a crazy idea and I love it. It's totally one of these 2020 inventions. I feel like this could only exist now. So basically what it is, it's called Birdsy, and it is a video-based bird watching solution. So basically what it is, there's a feeder, a bird feeder, then there's a camera that is connected to the internet, much like a security camera, except instead of spotting intruders, what it does is it spots birds that arrive to eat whatever bird feed you've put out. And not only does it spot them and record them, it actually has AI built into it that can identify the species of birds. So you don't even have to be like a bird expert to know what kind of bird has arrived at your feeder. And it's all, it's got an app and it's connected, so like you don't have to be actively watching the feed. It'll give you an alert and it'll say, hey, like a house finch or a warbler or whatever bird you're after is there eating, and it'll give you an alert and you can tune in live.
I just want it to be like a really loud siren, like "There's a house finch outside now! Get out here!" We actually talked about this thing on TBD too. My question is though, how is this different than? I mean, I guess it'll identify it, but is this something that you would use?
I mean, for $200, that's a little steep. I'm not that deep into bird watching myself, but I can totally see how this might be the perfect thing for some people, particularly my mom. She is a crazy bird watcher and spends a lot of time at home just sitting out there and actively watching her feeders to see who stops by. And yeah, she would love something like this where she could continuously bird watch throughout the day and then just, look at her phone whenever something interesting happens.
I think the longer this pandemic goes on, the more bird people are going to be out there, and that could be me too.
100%.
By the end of the year, yeah, I'll have like 5 of these. Going from that one, from Birdsy AI, what is the next one that you want to talk about?
Let's talk about this M1 Caliber. It's an interesting new measuring tool. So you've probably heard that old adage that like carpenters and other woodworkers say that's measure twice, cut once. It's just a good way of going about things because if you mess up one cut, I don't know. Basically, what this tool does is it eliminates that. It says, screw that. We're not gonna measure twice, cut once. That takes way too much time. How about you measure while you're cutting, and you don't have to pull out a tape measure. You don't have to mark anything. It'll just tell you exactly where to stop the wood so that you can make the cut. So pretty much what it is, it's a little thing. It's a little device that you clamp onto your existing saw. Mostly it's designed for miter saws. So you clamp it onto it. It's got this little spring-loaded wheel, and then you put your board or whatever material that you're cutting under it and slide it. And as that wheel spins, it automatically like digitally measures how much material is moving through it. So all you have to do is just stop when it's at the number that you want, cut the thing, roll it through again, and then so you can continuously cut and make a bunch of all of the cuts on your cut list in one go without ever having to pull out a tape measure or mark anything.
That is actually pretty cool. This is one that...
It's a really clever idea, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, because that is true. I don't know how many times I've screwed up cuts by trying to get in a hurry with that. So that's something I would see being kickstarted. So this one, taking a look here right now, yeah, it was a $10,000 goal. It's at almost $300,000 as of right now with 38 days left. And especially another thing for during this, while everybody's at home trying to work on projects, or a lot of people are, I bet this is going to clearly do really well. So that's the Reekon M1. And what is the pledge here? Yeah, $109 or something. And then, but yeah, it ends up being $99 for the actual tool. I would kickstart this one. I think we just lost Drew, didn't we? Okay, yeah. We are live. Just
in case anybody doesn't connection's know. Buggy a little bit on right. My end. I think we're back,
right.
though.
We've got you back. We're back now. All right, well, let's go from there, from the M1 Caliber to the final one on here. And I'm taking a look here. I just see the name Waydoo Flyer One. What is a Waydoo Flyer One?
So Waydoo is a company that makes aquatic toys. Basically, they make powered surfboards and lots of other stuff with motors on it that you can play around on the water with. They previously made an electric surfboard that had like a little impeller. It was basically like a jet ski surfboard. This is an evolution of that. The Waydoo Flyer One is an electronic surfboard, but it's also in hydrofoil. So it's got basically a little underwater wing on the bottom of it. And once you get up to a certain speed, that wing creates enough lift in the water to actually lift the board up off of the surface of the water so that you're kind of flying on top of it. This also reduces the drag that you experience while you're going. So it actually takes less power to move the board forward, and you can go much faster than you could on a board where like you're actually just skimming on the surface. Yeah, so it looks like a ton of fun. I really, really, really want to get on top of one of these things. The only thing is it costs like over $4,000, so it's a little steep.
That does look awesome, though. I would totally try one of those. I would crash constantly, I would imagine, but I would definitely want to get on one of those things. You've tried the electric surfboard before, right?
I have, but only the surface skimming ones. I have not tried a hydrofoil board yet. However, I have tried a hydrofoil e-bike at CES, and that was tricky. And that was, I imagine the difference is probably like, because that had two hydrofoils, so it's probably like riding a bike, whereas this, I imagine, would be a little bit more like riding a unicycle. And I crashed the bike, so I'm sure I would crash this immediately and look like a complete idiot on video, which I'm really good at doing.
And there is video of you crashing on the hydrofoil bike. So
yes, there is.
You can find that on the site. Well, this one again, this is the Waydoo Flyer One. So it's an innovative e-foil is what they're calling it. Not dependent on wind or waves, you can ride anywhere, anytime. It's still pretty cool. I would definitely want to get on one. Not going to spend $4,000 on it, but I would love to know somebody who does own one.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's just like a boat. I want to know the person who owns the boat. But this is the Waydoo Flyer One. And again, this is awesome tech. You can't buy yet. We've got all of these at digitaltrends.com where people can go there and take a look at everything that Drew has found. They're always interesting stuff. And Drew, as always, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's always fun being here, man.